there folks, it's Chet from Tag Along with Chet, and I was going to go flying today, but just looking out to the south of us out here, it looks like we have a system coming in, and I know that the stuff's actually coming in from Montana, which is just a little bit south of us here, so by the time I know I get my airplane preheated and get it towed out, it'll probably be non-flyable. So you can actually see it out here if you look at the just the leading edge here. I don't know if you can see it here on the camera, but the leading edge is just coming in here, and it's the overrunning from the just south of the border, and the visibility is actually starting to decrease. Just to the north of us out here, if you look across my next door neighbor's hangar, it's all nice blue sky, but the leading edge of it, actually you can see it creeping northward. So it's the overrunning from the air mass down south. So I guess what I'll end up doing is heading into the office and giving you another episode of Hangar Chet-Chat. You know, I still have a problem with saying it. I keep on wanting to say Hangar Chit-Chat, but anyway, it's Hangar Chet-Chat. So I guess we'll see you inside. Hi there folks, it's Chet from Tag Along with Chet, and this is episode 10 of Hangar Chet-Chat. So we got the office all nicely warmed up. Like I said, I was going to go flying there this morning, but I don't know, it looked like weather is moving in, so we'll just sit in our nice warm office out here. It's gradually warming up nicely. It's getting to be about 15 or 16, 16 degrees in here already, so yeah, it's looking good. What I got to tell you about first is something that I didn't experience myself or even saw myself, because I was on a trip to Toronto at that time, so I didn't see it. But it was my aircraft was used by the Abbotsford International Air Show. That's the Piper Cub. And that would have been the summer of 1978. I was approached by one of the members from EAA that was based at Delta Air Park at that time. I don't know if they're still there. However, they asked whether or not they could use my Cub to be flown by Art Scholl for a drunken farmer routine known as the Clem Busenstein drunken farmer routine bit that he usually did. I don't know if you know of Art Scholl's history. However, Art Scholl, he was a commercial aerobatic pilot, and he did a lot of video or movies. You never saw him. He was always in the background, and he was actually doing a lot of the filming of the aerobatic maneuvers. And the last film that he did was Top Gun. And Top Gun is actually dedicated to his memory. As a matter of fact, if you look at the Top Gun movie, on the very end of the movie, it says this film is dedicated to the memory of Art Scholl. He died during the filming of Top Gun when the Pitts S2 camera plane that he was flying failed, or actually had entered a spin intentionally. So he had an intentional spin that he did, which obviously wasn't a problem for him because he did them quite often. And it plunged into the Pacific Ocean. Now, he was 53 at that time. But Art actually flew my aircraft during as I mentioned, in the Abbotsford Air Show. The air show took place sometime during the summer of 1978. And I received a letter from the chapter's secretary. I'll just read you the letter. On behalf of all of us at the EAA Chapter 85, many thanks to you for the kindness in loaning your J3 to the Abbotsford Air Show Society, and to Art Scholl for his Clem Busenstein turn. It's been a long time since people have had been treated to that ancient but still popular Flying Farmer Act, or Incompetent Inebriated Flying Farmer Act, as Art hung it together. You might have been rather amused at seeing shoals 3/4 out of your airplane at about 200 feet, screaming at the top of his lungs. Or then again, you might have reacted more, as I might have, rather significantly. Art's J3 Act was one of the few acts which did go on and did save the washed out day. I don't believe he flew his Chipmunk in the Friday show, and all the expensive military stuff was stood down all day. Good old bulletproof J3 saves the day. Again, our thanks to you for your kindness. And that was signed by the Secretary of the EAA chapter at that time, Chapter 85. Now, what Art did on these drunken farmer routine things, for me not know, he would sort of come out of the crowd and he'd have this jug of whiskey, sort of with a big X on it. I'll show you a picture. I think I have a picture of him from some article. And he would come out of the crowd, somehow get through security, obviously. He would get through security. And my Cub would be standing just on the flight line with the engine running and the clamshell doors open. And he would sort of, wobble his way through all the crowd and then go through security, as I mentioned, and then see this airplane. And he'd run up to the airplane, and anyway, people would start chasing him, obviously intentionally not catching him, and he'd kind of fall into the airplane, and then he would, with his left hand, he would push the throttle forward in the airplane while it obviously moved, and then someone would be running after the airplane, and he'd take off right on the infield out there, right? Not even on the runway. He'd just take off, and it would be in a real weird attitude and so forth. But aerobatic pilot as he was, he had lots of experience in that. So anyway, the aircraft was used in that, and rumor has it, and I'll show you some pictures actually, which I still have, which somebody from the EA took for me. Like I mentioned, I wasn't there at that time, but rumor has it that he actually, when he was coming over the field, he actually scratched the wingtip of the Cub over the pavement. So I went and looked at the wingtip, and sure as heck, there's a bit of a scrape on there. So that's how close he got to the runway. Not my kind of flying, mind you, but obviously he knew what it was doing. If you like these videos, then by all means hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and same on Facebook. I believe there's a YouTube subscribe button on there you can click on. And also hit that thumbs up button, that like button, that helps me out as well. So have a good day, and we'll see you the next time. Bye for now.